Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Farmer George's Pepper Catalog. Today's episode features my favorite pepper, the Orange Habanero. And here it is. Fresh from the plant. You see it's got like a beautiful waxy sheen to it, almost an apricot color, a little bit darker. This pepper is arguably the reason why the whole pepper craze started. I remember when this was the hottest pepper you used to hear about, maybe this one in the Scotch bonnet. And now you have crazy peppers like ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, Trinidad Burgess scorpions. The list goes on and on and on. This pepper originated in the Caribbean, and it's really famous on the Yucatán Peninsula, especially in Mexico and Belize. It's used fresh in salsas to give it a nice kick. It's good in fruity hot sauces, and I even like pickling them. And for a quick and dirty recipe, you can chop up some white onions, chop up some habanero, give it a little salt, and throw it all together in some white vinegar. And you got a perfect little fresh, hot, quasi-hot sauce, a little bit of fresh pickled peppers. It's awesome. And you can put this on pizza, you can put it on sandwiches, you can put it on hot dogs. The possibilities are endless. So in today's episode, my sister's in town and she volunteered, I asked her if she wanted to be a part of this and to do a taste test. So once we go over to taste this thing, she's gonna do a little taste test along with me and give her opinion of the Orange Habanero. So without further ado, let's go look at the pepper plants. I'll break those down for you, and then we'll come back inside, open the pod, and then we'll do a taste test.
So we're out here on the balcony again, and I wanted to show you the habanero plant. And excuse the lighting because it's in the morning and the sun kind of is at a weird angle. I've already had quite a few harvests from this particular plant. You can see that I have some more pods growing here. Here's a ripe one. Here's another ripe one. This plant has been putting out some different shapes and sizes. I've been getting some pretty large pods. This is a typical size of a habanero, and then this one's a little bit smaller. It's a Capsicum chinense plant. It's got indeterminate growth, about 2 to 4 feet high. If you have it in a good spot, it'll grow about 4 feet. This plant's about 2.5 feet tall because it's sharing a grow bag with the Sugar Rush peaches that kind of grew a little bit faster. It requires full sun, 6 to 8 hours of it. This particular plant took 10 days to germinate. Like I said before, I've already had a few harvests from this plant. I made some spicy pickles with them. Maturation period, so from planting till ripe fruit is about 4 to 5 months. And you have these white flowers. If we look at the buds per node, 3 on this one, you have 1 on this one. So it's safe to say this one has 4. On average, it would be 2 to 3 buds per node. So really quick, we'll go look at the other 2 plants. And then we'll go back inside and pick a pod and taste it. As you can see, I really don't have much space, and I can barely tell which plant is what. But if I take it from the mid stem, so this plant is probably, so if you look at this wavy branch, that's probably about 3 feet tall. Got another ripe fruit right here. This is probably one I'll pick, for it's a good contender for a taste test. There's another one back here. It's slightly larger. And then I'm going to actually pick this one for us so we can see it. This one, I don't know what happened here. This is one that I'll save seeds from. But look how big this one is. It's like almost the size of my palm. So this is not a typical habanero shape, but as you can see, this plant is producing pods like crazy. Once it started to branch out and get some more sun, it's starting to take off. Okay, so this is a typical size of a habanero pepper. It's about from tip to top. It's about 1 inch and 7/8 if you want to call it. We'll call it 2 inches approximately. And then if we go like this to see the diameter, we have about 1.5 inches in diameter at the widest part of this pepper. So let's cut this one open. We'll take a look at the walls and we'll see what the seeds look like. Very crunchy, and this is a beautiful inside to a pod. This is typical of the Orange Habanero. You have all the seeds up at the placental tissue at the top, So when I'm saving seeds, I kind of cut it like a pumpkin, and I cut it around the top, and then I just pull the stem out, and I have a little bit of a seed ball right there, and the majority of my seeds are kept right at the top. It's super easy to save seeds from these. That's exactly what I'm going to do with this one because it's such a beautiful pod, and it looks like we have a lot of quality seeds. So the walls are pretty thin. They're not as thin as a ghost pepper, but they're much thinner than a jalapeno. And you heard the crunch when I cut into the pepper, and it's a really, really nice crunch. And they do last a while in the fridge if you keep them there, and they maintain their hard walls, unlike some other peppers like a shishito that goes pretty leathery pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go save seeds from this one. I'll go get my sister, and we'll taste this. Here we are. I took the seeds out of my pod, and here's my very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Kate. I'm Farmer George's sister.
There you go. Twin brother Billy can't be in this one, but I brought my sister along. So we're going to taste test this. I have a couple notes so that I can remind myself while this is in my mouth and burning my head off what I need to tell you about this pepper. So Kate's going to choose however much she wants to take. I'm not going to make her do a whole pod. But for myself, I think this is my last full pod because, well, we have a couple sweet peppers out there, but most of them are going to be super, super hot. And this is going to be the level of hotness that I go for.
Yep, after that it's too much.
Yeah. What is your threshold for heat?
The chocolate habanero, I think, was my threshold.
Yeah, I gave her a little piece of a chocolate habanero last night. But sriracha's not that hot for you?
Mm-mm.
What about jalapeno poppers?
Not that spicy.
So you want to meet somewhere in the middle?
Somewhere in the middle is good.
I think that orange habanero is Kate's pepper, just like it's my favorite pepper. So go ahead and cut yourself off a piece. So here's my pod.
I'm just going for the small piece with no seeds.
Buon appetito. What kind of flavor are you getting?
Almost like fruity.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know why they make mango habanero hot sauce at Trader Joe's.
Exactly.
It's really good. That's really good. Yeah, this is much better. I'll take another piece.
Yeah, mine's not that hot right now either. I was expecting a lot worse. Maybe because of last night.
Yeah, last night was a lot hotter. Yours is fine?
Mm-hmm. Whew. Every time I swallow, I get that feeling, that awful memory of me eating that Carolina Reaper because it's a same species of pepper, the Capsicum chinense, and it's got a little bit of that flavor, but with the Carolina Reaper, it's much more intensified. So
Capsicum
chinense. And the reason it's called chinense is not because it's from China, but it's because a Dutch explorer who originally sailed to the Caribbean, sailed to the Caribbean, he, for whatever reason, thought they were from China, so dubbed the name chinense. But I'm definitely salivating a little bit. It was actually a slow burn, built a little slow. Out of 10, I would give it a 6 out of 10 out of heat rating. What would you think?
Well, I think that your rating is probably
A little different.
What
What would you rate it?
That was perfect, but I didn't eat the whole pot. I only ate half, and didn't get the seeds. So
Yeah.
I'd say 5, but that's because
5.
again I didn't eat the whole thing.
So lower than mine?
Yeah.
That's
Compared
right.
to last night, I'd say 0 to 10.
Okay. Well, just so that you know, last night you ate a pepper that has a Scoville heat unit rating of about 800,000. This one can max out at about 350,000.
Right.
So almost double the heat.
And I ate a lot more of that one.
You did. And this is equivalent of about eating 50 jalapenos. So if you eat 50 jalapeno peppers, that's what you get with this.
Nice.
So I don't think I have any other notes. I mean, it's a citrusy, almost like an apricot taste. Not overwhelming, but
You have a small piece.
yeah.
I feel great right now. Some people get what's called a capsicum high because your endorphins go in to mask the pain. And that's what I kind of have right now. In addition to this little tear and the saliva building, I feel pretty good. I gotta blow my nose, but that's about it. So.
I could snack on this actually later.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you joined me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Maybe we can do another one when you're here.
Yeah, as long as it's not a chocolate habanero.
Well, I have a Carolina Reaper out there.
No thanks. I max out at chocolate habanero.
Okay.
It's a little misleading. It's not spicy candy.
Yeah, it's not candy at all. Anyway, this one is a super easy pepper to grow. It's one of the best peppers that I have in my garden. So if you're looking for a simple pepper to start with and you're just starting out, I would recommend this one into your arsenal of peppers. In addition to like a jalapeno and a cayenne, I think with those three, you can start out small and you won't be disappointed. And it gives a lot of heat and a lot of great flavor.
You can make some chutney with it.
You can make some chutney. And I have something similar to chutney on my YouTube channel. It's how to make mango habanero jam. It's kind of like a chutney, so give that a look.
Really good.
I'll put that video right here, and if you like this video, please subscribe by hitting my little logo right here when it pops up. As always, I'm Farmer George.
And I'm Kate.
Let's share and grow together. See you next time.